welcome back to another episode of the Fair Talk Show with Oladoyin, a channel where we talk about finance, entrepreneurship, and purpose. And on today's section of purpose, I have here with me a coach, a speaker, and an entrepreneur, Sam Adebayo. Sam Adebayo is known for inspiring change and growth in individuals and organizations. Is the founder of the Life Business Hub, and he currently heads BQ International, a coaching, training, and consulting company. And today he will be talking to us on goal setting. Join me as we make welcome Sam Adebayo. Sam, welcome to the show. So nice having you around. Like when I called you and you said you're going to be around, I was like, okay, this is a good one for my people because I know you are really going to break today's topic into is it molecules now or into sections that you'll be able to understand. So nice having you around.
Thank you for having me.
Today. Even if I had to adjust my glasses to really check it. Is it Black Monday? No, sorry, it's not Black Monday, but wow, so nice having you around.
Thank you, Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Anointed beard, so what should I call it? What should I call it?
Thank you. Well, I don't know. I'm just following the trend. It's just following the trend.
So to enter someone's eyes, pepper them gang.
If I enter your eyes, it's not my fault.
I enter my eyes. I'm not supposed to enter your eyes. Wow, boy, it's so nice having you around.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thanks for having me.
So, yes, everybody's New Year's resolution is I want to get to this particular stage at the end of this year. What's the difference between goal and me setting goals?
Okay.
So I have a goal, and what's the difference between that goal that I have and setting plans to get that goal?
Okay. Well, that's a very nice question. Okay, thanks for having me, first of all. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here. So to the question, difference between goal, right, and setting goals is like saying your what is you define an objective, right? You want something, right? So that's the what. And then the goal setting is like the how. Do you understand?
Okay.
So I want to go to Lagos, right? My goal is to get to Lagos, right? Then me setting the goal is the process. How do I get to Lagos, right? So it's about the how, it's about the when, it's about the who can help me. So that's the process of the goal. So
in short, having a goal is what?
Having a goal is like you just trying to first of all define what exactly you want to achieve or is in your head. Yeah.
The goal setting is how.
It's the how, the process. Yes.
Okay. So what are the tips that you can recommend on how to achieve these goals?
How to achieve the goals? Okay, so there are a couple of them. I'll just list out a few. One, you have to be very specific, right? So most people at the beginning of the year they say, I want to lose weight. That is not a goal. You understand? That's not a goal. That's like not like saying like a wish because it's not specific. I'm sure we know the SMART goals. It's not specific. It's not measurable. You have to measure it, right? So when I say I'm going to Lagos, I'm specific. When do I want to get to Lagos? How do I want to get to Lagos? You understand? So that is being more specific. So you have to be specific in setting your goals. One, right? So there has to be time to it too. Right, there has to be time to it. And so when do you want to achieve this goal? You understand? So most people don't achieve goals because they don't put time to it. So if, for example, you say you want to eat shawarma, is coming up again. Right? You want to eat shawarma, for example, right? And you don't put a when, you might end up not eating that shawarma the whole day, the whole week, right? But when there's a time to it, right, you're more intentional because now there is a time. That is why in schools we have timetables, right? Because there's something you're working towards. So it helps you to plan better. Then another tip is you have to be realistic setting your goals, right? Imagine someone that has never earned 1 million naira today is saying this year I want to make 10 million naira. We know that that's not realistic at all. And one reason why okay. Yeah, well, I said someone that has never earned 1 million doesn't know what it is to earn 1 million and wants to earn 10 million.
Except doesn't know what it is to get 1 million.
Right. Of course. But you haven't got to 1 million yet, and you want to now get 10. It's going to be tough to get that. So it's one of the reasons why people fail, because there's no there's no path to that thing, that they just hope that they will get that thing that is there, and that's why most people never reach some goals, because there's no clear path to it. You understand? So I want to come to where you are. I needed to impute something into the map, right? An address in the map, and then we'll navigate with it. But if you just said come to this place, right, and there's no map, you get and I might get lost a couple of times before eventually, you understand. And one of the tips, again, we need to be flexible, right? Because most times, to advise people when setting goals, you can your goal can be fixed, right? But you need to be flexible with the how, right? So for example, flexibility in the sense that there's not just one way to get to this place. There could be two, three ways, right? You could come from here, or come from the east, or I could drop from a helicopter. You understand? So, but most times people don't achieve goals because they are fixed, they're not flexible enough. So if it's not this particular way, you don't achieve it. Yeah. So yeah, just a few tips to. That's for specific. Yeah. Yeah. Yes. So realistic. So you have to be realistic. Yes. So what if others are not supportive of my goals? Okay. Wow, that's an interesting one. Others are not supportive of your goal. So first of all, you have to find out who those others are, right? Yes. What if they're even my family members? That's the interesting part. So sometimes, okay, so this is it, right? Most times people don't really see what you see. You understand? So initially, it might be hard for people to support, especially if it's something that seems beyond your reach at the moment, right? A lot of people give up on pursuing those goals. They're like, oh, my mother is not supporting me, my father is not supporting me, right? So what if others do not support your goal? One, it could mean a couple of things. One, it could be you have to first of all go and check yourself and make sure that that goal you have is actually something that, yes, is worth pursuing, something that is worthy of pursuing, right? It's something that should be within, because sometimes we think people are against us, but we need to check that we are actually within setting boundaries. What I mean by that is those goals we're trying to set, are they within our beliefs, right? Are they within the values that we're brought up with? If they are not, they will definitely not support you, right? Because everybody wants to see that you prosper in a certain way. That's on one part, and then on the other hand, it could be a worthy goal, but they just don't see, they just don't get you. They feel like you're thinking out of, you know, do you understand? Yeah. So, like, imagine someone going to school for 6 years, 7 years, become a doctor, and then decides to become a pastor. It doesn't make any sense, right? But this is the thing: you cut the vision, you cut the goal, right? You have the goal, so it will mean that it will be difficult for anybody to want to accept it because nobody saw that coming, right? So there are two sides to it. So, but if it's on this other side where they don't see it, the test of that goal will really be if you really know what you saw. Because if you are convinced about what you know or what you want to achieve, it will determine your conviction, will determine how far you go with the goal. And family is not enemy, they're not your enemy, right? So it just brings you to a place where you need to really be careful. Even if you don't get that support, how will you react after that? Will you hate them? Will you still love them? But your idea is to still pursue the goal, because the truth is that most times compelling goals, when we don't achieve them, we become sad. It takes joy away from you. But if something is really compelling, it's a goal that drives you, wake up from sleep, and what you're thinking about is that goal. That it's something that drives you, that if you don't achieve it, you won't be happy. A goal like that, most times you won't give it up for the world. But most times, if you easily give it up, it means that goal hasn't really captured you yet. That's true. And I feel like it's not even going to cause any problem with family members. Yes, they will be angry, but at the long run, everybody will be fine. Well, at the end of the day, you feel like, no, this is the right thing for me to do. I feel at the end of the road, everybody will be fine. Yeah, hopefully
What
everybody
they're
will be
saying is
fine.
what they'll be fine now.
Yes. Yeah.
You have to be fine. So what keeps me motivated? This one, I'm going to do either this one or this one. I'm not giving up
Wow,
on it.
either
What
this one or
keeps me
this one.
motivated?
Okay. Yeah.
So what keeps me motivated?
Okay, what can motivate you to keep?
Yeah.
So I started to talk about it in the last question. It has to be compelling. Is it something that that you are obsessed about, that you think about, right? That if I wake up from sleep, one of the first things I will hear is about your goal. Yeah. So, and brings me back to one reason why people don't achieve their goals is because it is not personal to them. So most times people's goals are actually borrowed, but they don't know.
Like you borrow another person's.
Yes. So for example, everybody's saying this year, I want to have I want to do this, I want to make such and such, I want to travel this year. It is not, like goal is bad in itself, but it is not really their own goal. It was someone else's goal. They just adopted it and just personalized and said, okay, you know what, I'll just take it.
So why can't I?
Do you understand? So, and some people will not be able to do that because it is not their goal. You get? So a lot of people are trying to achieve other people's goals, and they're stuck and they're wondering why it's not happening. So when you borrow someone's goal, it's not, you don't have the same conviction the person has. You don't have the same motivation the person has. So you're wondering why. So there's no way you can have the same results. Yeah.
Wow. Yes, I think that's very true. Now you not get tired, you get frustrated, you are wondering how things are not happening. Whereas that's not your own personal.
No.
That's true. So okay, what if like 2022 now? The year has not even started fully and I'm already discouraged. What can I do? Probably the way I entered the year it wasn't that convincing, it was not that good. How do I push myself forward to just continue with the year?
Okay, that's with regards to your goals.
Yes.
Okay, so the truth is that all of us at some point or the other, right? We get discouraged, right? We don't all run on like 100% steam at all times. It will be a lie. Well, maybe there are people like that, but I haven't found any yet. But at some point or the other, we sort of like you get discouraged because things are not working the way you know. But like I said, when something is compelling, when something drives you, I'm sure you've had things like that you obsess about. All you think about is just that particular thing. You have a thing or two like that, right? When you have stuff like that, or it's very important to you, you know that you can't do without. You could do without it, but you know you don't want to do without it, right? When you have that and you constantly remind yourself of that thing. For example, one of the ways to motivate you is think of the consequence of not doing it, right? Pain is a motivator, right? So imagine they say stop taking coke every day. So I used to be a coke addict, right? I used to do like 2 bottles of coke every day. Uh-huh. Then you know how it is to when you don't have that cold bottle of coke, right? When you have it, like your life is just starting afresh, like just
It's very refreshing. Yes, I know that feeling.
yeah. So that's what happens, right? But when you think of the consequence, like okay, what would okay, say coke is bad, too much of sugar is bad for me. I need to stop it. What's the consequence? I don't want to get diabetes. I don't know, I don't want to put on weight. And so when you think of the consequence of it, right, and you magnify it, you see that look, this is what I'm avoiding. It's also a motivator to want to achieve your goals. Yeah.
Yes, I totally agree with you. So this one, I feel is more personal. What
Okay.
I'm about to say right now.
So
now
help
looking at
me God.
2022, yes.
Okay.
What do you plan achieving before the end of 2020? Just give us one.
Wow. Okay, so quickly, I have I have set goals in different areas of my life, right? Different areas of my life, set goals. But for me, the thing I want to achieve the most is consistency
Okay.
because I know what to do, and we all know what to do for the most part. But the problem is we are not consistent enough. So for my biggest goal this year is to be consistent with the things that I want to achieve.
Consistency. Like I'm also going to hold that at the back of my hand. So moving on to the last This one is just a small game for you. So, what belongs to you? But let me say it's more of a riddle than a
Okay.
game. So, what belongs to you, but others use it more than you?
How
It's
many?
yours naturally,
Okay.
but I use it more. I personally use it more than you.
Are you a thief? Well, that was a joke. Okay. Wow. How long do I have to answer this question?
30 seconds, and it's
Okay.
already counting. So,
Well, something I have others use more than me. Time? No, it couldn't be money because it's not possible. God, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm lost.
I'm going to tell you your name.
Ah,
Yes, your name. I use your name. It's yours, but I call it more than you. People call it more than you.
I
So many
don't.
times you sit down, Sam, no,
And
no.
it's true. Yeah, I think. I like you cheated me.
Wow, thank you so
No,
much,
West,
Sam.
West,
Thank
West.
you so much for being
Thank you. My pleasure. Thanks
here.
for having me.
Alright. The 5 key points Sam mentioned is your goal should be specific, it should be measurable, it should be attainable, it should be realistic, and it should be a time-bounded goal. Thank you so much for being on today's episode with us. Please follow us on all our social media handles, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and always click on that notification bell to get notified anytime a video is being uploaded. Till I come your way next time, my name remains Oladoyin.